Okay. Really? Who could this be? Hello?
Morning, Mr. Calvert. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, involves reviewing the latest Mission Impossible film, Mission Impossible Fallout. Now, this won't be an easy mission, but I have faith you'll do it justice. But as always, if you fail to do so, your channel will permanently be demonetized. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Good luck, Tyler.
Okay.
How's it going, everybody? So today I'm here to talk about the 6th installment in the Mission Impossible franchise, Mission Impossible Fallout. Now, this is actually the first time in the series where they've actually brought back, director, because every other time beforehand, they've always switched hands, whether it be Brian De Palma, John Woo, J.J. Abrams, and Brad Bird. And then Christopher McQuarrie did Rogue Nation, and he came back to do Fallout, which is nice, because this actually feels like a very solid, good continuation based off of like what happened in Rogue Nation to Fallout. So, kudos to them for bringing Christopher McQuarrie back. He's actually writing this one as well, as he wrote the last one, and I really like his writing style, so I was really pumped for this film. But I gotta say, guys, Mission Impossible Fallout is pretty much just non-stop adrenaline-pumping action, and I loved every second of it. Which is really bizarre, because you think the Mission Impossible franchise is the complete opposite of every other franchise, because usually when you think of franchise with a lot of installments, they usually get worse over time, but it's almost the exact opposite with Mission Impossible, because they keep getting better, which is really weird to me, but impressive at the same time, so kudos to them. Also, by the way, I'm going to be ranking all of the Mission Impossible films, so be on the lookout for that in the next, probably 2 days or so. But yeah, Mission Impossible Fallout was a very fun summer blockbuster. I don't want to delve into the plot too much because it might be considered spoilery, but it's kind of just like a lot of the Mission Impossible films where a mission goes wrong and Ethan and his group of pals have to fix it, race against the clock to figure out what's wrong and fix it, etc. But it's actually done very well in this. I mean, it's done well in many of the films, but they do have the same common theme of, race against the clock to solve some type of crisis. I just don't want to go into full-on details because, maybe you've, skipped the trailers or promotional material and you want to go in fresh. But yeah, it's another one of those, but it's actually done really well, so that's not knocking it that it's very similar to other films. Tom Cruise, even though he's getting closer and closer to pushing 60 years old, he still goes full out with these crazy action scenes and these amazing stunts. In this one, you got the halo jump, and he's, doing crazy stuff on helicopters, running along rooftops. I mean, he's just putting his body on the line in all these scenes. I mean, he actually did pretty much put his body on the line in this one because he, shattered his ankle doing one of the scenes, running along the rooftop. I'm sure you heard about it. They shut down production for the film for a couple months because of it. But it's just insane to me that even when he's getting closer to 60 years old, he's just doing all these amazing, crazy stunts. I mean, most people, you think when they get to that age, they do a stunt double or two. But no, that's Tom Cruise going out there being insane, doing all these crazy, stuff in the movie that will probably kill most people. And it actually pays off because it's such amazing action because he's actually doing it. I mean, you've got crazy scenes in all the Mission Impossible films when it comes to these stunts, but it's almost like he keeps pushing himself to doing more and more crazy things in each installment. Not even exaggerating, some of the action in this is probably some of the best action I've seen in any action film, even many of the other Mission Impossible films. Christopher McQuarrie just does a great job doing these super intense, thrilling, exciting action scenes with Tom Cruise, and it's not even just Tom Cruise. A lot of the cast in this film get their time to shine when it comes to the action, and I actually like that. I like that each character, not only that, but they actually worked as a team in this, because they don't always work as a team in these films, not as much anyway. Sometimes they just get relegated to a little bit here and there, a cameo here and there, but pretty much everybody on the team gets a good amount of screen time, gets their moments to shine. Pretty much everybody's back, because, Tom Cruise, of course, and Rebecca Ferguson's back from the last one, Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, Alec Baldwin's back from the first one, the last one as well. And Jeremy Renner's the only one that's missing. They don't really talk about where he is. I mean, I guess he's just too busy being Hawkeye and being in Tag to be in this film. So they kind of just didn't really bother to mention where his character was. But they're all back, other than Jeremy Renner. But in his place, we got, Henry Cavill, in his infamous mustache. I don't feel like I need to explain why his mustache is so infamous. I'm sure most of you know the Justice League debacle. But nevertheless, he's so charismatic and badass and brutal in his role. I mean, his fight scenes are some of the most brutal things in the film. I mean, you've probably seen the promotional material of him just cocking his arms before this fight. And that's actually one of the best fights in the film, by the way. So keep an eye out for that scene in the movie. But he's just such a great character in this movie that, I wish that they would explore it more, because I wish he actually was on screen even more than he already was. But he actually kind of stealed the spotlight from Tom Cruise in a lot of scenes, and it's actually, I was more focused on him, like what was his character about. But nevertheless, I mean, Tom Cruise is still Tom Cruise, but Henry Cavill did such a great job in this role, and I actually like to see him in more stuff other than Superman, although I'm fine with Superman. But if he wants to do more roles like this, I'd be all for it. I can't really think of very many negatives, if I'm being honest. I mean, I love pretty much every aspect of this film. The only thing I can think of that maybe would be negative is just that it's really long, so if you need to have some, a good amount of time if you want to watch this film, because it's a little bit under 2.5 hours long. But it's such an exciting film. There's no shift in pace where you starts to drag. Like, the entire film is very well paced, very well managed, and it's actually really exciting. And there's so much action in this film that you really don't have any time to get bored. I mean, between the action scenes and the actual drama between the characters, there's actually no downtime where you're like, okay, well, this is ridiculous, I'm falling asleep. It's just such an exciting film. I really feel like this is probably in my top 5 of the year right now because I enjoyed it so much. So yeah, I highly recommend you go out and see this film. It's easily one of the best summer blockbusters that we've had in the last couple of years. One of the best action films in the last couple of years. Probably one of Tom Cruise's best films in the last decade or two. I mean, even over some of the Mission Impossible films. But I'll let you know which ones it's better than in my ranking that I'll probably be doing the next day or two, so be on the lookout for that. But also, leave a comment down below if you plan on going to see Mission Impossible Fallout when it comes out this weekend. If you have seen it, what'd you think of it? Did you like it, love it, hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, feel free to leave a like, hit the subscribe button, keep up to date with all my movie reviews, trailer reactions, unboxings, and more. But until the next time, I'll see you guys later.